Welcome back to our Working with Excel Custom Functions series. Let's enhance functionality of the SpellNumber UDF that we created last time. I can think of at least 5 different ways how we can easily improve our user-defined function. First of all, while working with the whole numbers, we see this redundant nosense suffix being added. I believe it's completely redundant and we need to get rid of it. As I mentioned in the last video, it is important to undertake some quality assurance steps to ensure that the function is working as expected. I did notice some issues with the precision. To demonstrate, let's say that we need to spell out a number that is 1756 and 249 thousandths. I would expect for it to be rounded up to 1756 and 25 cents. But the message that we're getting is actually 24 cents, and that needs to be fixed. Since we're spelling out amounts in dollars and cents, let's change the name of the function to reflect this fact. Let's call it SpellNumber dollar function. While we're at it, knowing that there are approximately 180 currencies in the world, let's create a new function, call it SpellNumber currency function, to accept those other currencies as well. And then finally, let's modify the SpellNumber function. That's the third function that we will use, the function that spells out a number. And let's change its precision to the third decimal point. To get rid of the no sense message, we simply need to replace it with an empty string. So let's go to the Visual Basic editor by using Alt F11 keyboard shortcut and then find that string. So let's perform the search, Control F for no sense. Found the result, and we just need to get rid of everything within the 2 double quotes, make it an empty string. And when we go back to the worksheet, when we rerun our SpellNumber function, we don't see the no sense message any longer. Let's then make a copy of our function and properly name it as the SpellNumber dollar function. So let's go back to the Visual Basic editor, Alt F11, find our function, copy the code. So Control C, do the Control V to paste it. Let's change our parameter name from my number to, let's say, amount. So I'm going to do the Control H to find and replace my number to the amount, and I'm going to only do it in the current procedure. Replace all. The next step is to actually make sure that we're rounding up to 2 decimal points, which happens in this step. String representation of the amount. Let's round up to 2 decimal points. And if you pay attention to the way this code is written, the syntax is exactly the same as you would find in regular Excel formulas working with multiple functions. So we just need to add the round function, use 2 decimal points, and that's it. When we go back to our worksheet, we can use the SpellNumber dollar function. It looks like I need to make another change. I need to change the SpellNumber function name to the SpellNumber dollar. And then going back to our worksheet, hopefully the change will take effect. Looks like it's working, and to test with the 249 thousandths, we should be getting 25 cents message instead of 24 as we did before. And again, this change took place, so our functionality is finally working. The next item on our list is SpellNumber currency function that accepts parameters that are non-US dollar currencies, such as euros, for example, and spells out the number using that currency. So let's go back to our code. Let's copy our SpellNumber dollar function and call it SpellNumber currency. The next step is we actually need to specify our parameters. In our case, it's going to be string dollars and string cents. In our case, these dollars are really banknotes, so they could be euros, they could be rubles, and cents are coins, so they could be euro cents or kopecks in that case. For this function to work, we need to make some additional changes. We need to change our hard-coded dollars and cents and replace them with the strings that we'll be passing. We can easily replace no dollars with an empty string. For our dollars case, we need to change the hard-coded string of dollars to the actual currency being used. So that is our string dollars. For the $1, things are a little bit trickier, but still manageable. We're leaving 1 as it is. And since 1 is a singular term, we need to get rid of the plural version. So in the case of dollars, we need to get rid of the suffix s. To do that, we can utilize the left function, similarly to the way that it works in regular Excel formulas. So left string dollars, and the length is going to be the length of this expression, -1. So we're getting rid of that one last letter. We now need to make similar changes to the cents portion. So we need to replace that 1 cent with another currency that we're passing. String cents. And string cents should be done. When we go back to our Excel window, we can test this new function. So it's SpellNumber currency. If you remember correctly, the first argument is the amount. Next is the currency that we want to use. So in our case, let's do euros and euro cents. It looks like this function is almost working. We forgot to add some spaces, so let's fix that. We just need to concatenate our strings with a couple of spaces, specifically in the dollars and then cents portion. So let's add an empty string or a space right here. and do the same thing in the cents portion as well. So going back to the Excel window, it looks like our function is actually working. Lastly, we need to fix our SpellNumber function that spells out numbers without using dollars and cents. We also want to change the precision up to 3 decimal points to spell out up to thousandths. And to do that, let's make the change in the code. What I'm going to do, I'm going to replace the existing code with the code that I have created. You can download my workbook via the link provided below this video. So let me select this function and replace it with another piece of code that I have created. But basically what I'm doing is I'm breaking down the number in portions, the whole number, the decimal portion, and then the spelling of the decimals, whether we're working with thousands, hundreds, or tens. So when we go back to the worksheet, if we use this function now, we can see that the number is spelled out as 1,756 and 249 thousandths. If we're using hundreds instead, the number is 24 hundredths. If we're using tens, the number is 2 tenths. And then finally, if we're using the whole number, there is nothing after the decimal point, so it's 1,756